1337.
Where is that from?
That's from Batman. Batman, you know, like the 1989 Batman, the one with Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
You know, the Michael Keaton. You know, it's funny how people
The
see
Michael
him,
Keaton.
huh?
The Michael Keaton.
The
Yeah,
Michael Keaton,
the
the one they
Michael.
see as this serious Batman type person, but you know, his history didn't really show that he was this serious actor. He did all these comedic roles, and like the most favorite role I remember of him is from Johnny Dangerously. It's this like 1920s comedy with Joe Piscopo and all that. It was really, really funny. And to see him as Batman, I was like, what? And plus, he didn't really have the look of Batman. He kind of looks like wax melted on his face or something like that. And you know, I don't know. It was really weird. Anyway, this is Mouse. We're here, Radio 1337 on UrbanItesRadio.com. The sound of artists talking into microphones. And here we're having a little bit of a thin crowd today. It's not just me. To my front is Tengu, as always.
As always.
How you doing?
I'm tired.
Tired?
Tired.
You know, we're recording in the morning, and we usually record in the afternoon, so this is kind of a different thing for us. And to my left is
Raina.
Oh my gosh, Raina's. Wait, hello? No, nobody's here. It's just us three. We're the triad.
Wow.
We're the triad of terror. And
Well,
I
you
was,
know what happens after the show.
Me and Raina go down. Yeah.
That's when we form the triumvirate.
It's where we form Eiffel Tower.
By your powers combined.
I got that going. Oh boy, that was too funny. Okay, so we're here. Rita, how was your week?
It's going good so far. I just got through midterms.
Midterms.
Yeah.
Oh yes,
That
dreaded
really
thing.
wiped me out.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what's even worse? Being a professor and trying to give midterms, because then I have to grade everything afterwards. It's just really.
That sounds fun. No.
I was really lazy with some of my students, and I decided not to give quizzes. So I was like, forget this. I'm just gonna make a big, huge, like 50-point test. And then I realized, crap! I have to grade this 50-point test. Really?
How many people chose the your mom answer?
I put it on two questions. Actually. One question was, which is considered a demographic, and your mom was actually one of them, and then below was all the above. And then another one was, why do you love games? And then one of the answers was, because your mom told you so. Obviously that wasn't the right answer, but that's all right.
You could argue the point.
Huh?
You could argue the point.
You could argue the point, but that shouldn't really be the motivation.
You really have questions like that?
I do.
What?
I do.
Why can't our questions be like that?
I have a
simple?
question on my test that says, what does LARP stand for?
What does LARP stand for?
Well, I, mean,
I don't even know
it
what it
stands for live action role play, right? And I teach that to my
okay.
class. Oh shoot! You know, I forgot the funny answer. I'm gonna have to look it up.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, 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 dun. It's oh man, where is it? Oh my gosh, I feel so derpy today.
I think we're on the same boat as you.
Are you?
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I apologize that, I'm the reason you guys have to record so early.
Oh no, it's not a big deal, man. I'm not tripping. Not tripping at all.
No, it's a challenge.
Challenge.
I like a challenge.
Challenge accepted.
I mean, I could tell you how I got here before I got here, what I did.
Well, go on. What did you do?
Man, I received a text maybe like around 10 or even before that. And I was like, oh, shit. I had to hop on the shower. And
Go
on the
on.
shower.
Yeah.
Is that your Filipino coming out? I had to hop in the shower.
I had
And
to
had to
hop
close
on
the
the
light.
shower. Yeah, I closed the light and then I took a shower, put on clothes, and then
Put that close.
looking at the time, it was 10:15.
10:15. Oh man.
So I was
that's
trying
just
to-
hilarious.
I was trying to rush here. I wanted to make sure I got here at least maybe a little after 10:30.
Yeah, I made the call time was officially 11 for today, and then I happened to find out, surprise meeting with one of my other jobs. So now I had to bump that up to 10:30. Here we are at 11, so I'll figure that out after the show. But yeah, good times. Once again, it's my fault because as I mentioned in last week's episode, we've got the WCS America tournaments going on. Today is the last day of the round of 16. It's Thursday that we're recording on. And by the time you hear this, the actual grand finals will already be completed, so you'll know who the champion is. So not really much point in saying whoever is going to be playing today, because you'll find out all of that by, Monday when you are first listening to this, or Wednesday.
I can't find that answer. It was just an awesome answer, and I can't. It's funny. I literally just sent it out like yesterday, and for some reason I can't find the stupid document. My midterm, right? Mine. I may have to just like cheat and like go and actually look at the physical, copies or whatever.
You just might.
No, because it's a funny. It's funny. It really is. It really is funny. The timing is horrible right now because
Man.
I'm.
These are awesome questions.
Dude, oh my gosh. Okay, here I have it right here. Okay, so it's what does LARP stand for? Loving all role play, live action real play. This is my favorite. Limping after rough play. Or live action role play. Hey,
That is great.
some people they like that, right?
See, that's why I wish that I actually could have had classes with you.
No. No, you did have a class, you fool.
I had internship. Internship does not count. That's just us hanging out and whatever.
Making sure that your internship counts as college credit.
Yeah, I mean, I guess technically, because we actually are like buds now and hang out and crap, it kind of is the same thing. But no, that would have been fun, like just to see that as one of my, test questions.
Let's see. Most of my test is kind of serious. I have a lot of true/false questions, and some of them. Here's another funny one. BattleNet was originally what? A search engine. B, a matchmaking system for Blizzard games. C, a matchmaking system for single nerds. Or D, a digital battlefield for retired gladiators. Yeah. It's obviously C, a matchmaking system for single nerds, because that's,
Yeah.
well, how else would the country of South Korea populate? I mean, come on.
That's cold, bro.
Yeah. All my South Korean friends are like, F you. Okie dokie.
Well, we just
Alrighty
lost
then.
a bunch of viewers.
All right, so we're here, and we haven't even started any of our sections yet, but this is Radio 1337, urbanizeradio.com, sound of artists talking into microphones, and we're actually going to have two pretty big segments. Well, the one big segment we're going to have is our news, and up ahead is we're going to have a really in-depth discussion about the game Netrunner, and that's going to be our game and kind of our special segment for today. So let's start off the news. Let's do this. Woo!
News time.
What? I was I teach 3D animation, right? And I have my new homework. It's facial animation. They have to do facial animation, and one of the quotes was from Wayne's World. Yeah. So that's the one where, like, if you hurl and she comes back, she's yours, and if you spew and she never comes back, it was never meant to be.
Wow.
Yeah, it was
Wow.
awesome. Anyway, let's go into the news. So You know who Major Nelson is, right?
I was
Not
gonna
quite.
say I Dream of Jeannie.
Major Nelson.
Yeah.
I believe he's the
Really? I dream
he
of
is
you.
Yeah, Barbara Eden.
he's a spokesperson for Xbox, and Larry Herb is I think is his real name. Major Nelson is his gamer tag, and he's the one that really shows off like, hey, this is what's happening with Xbox, and he's the face more or less of any Xbox announcements coming out. He's certainly not a president or anything like that, but he definitely has a lot of pull and influence with the gamer crowd. He released a video about the new Xbox One and the box that will come in, and showing all the cool stuff that the Xbox One will have. And some of these things will be kind of surprising because we reported on some things about the Xbox One, and they kind of don't fit. Let me just kind of explain. So he started opening up the Xbox One, and you could probably find the video somewhere, Major Nelson or Larry Herb or Xbox One unboxing or whatever. But let me just give you a quick recap. When you open it up, there's the Kinect sensor. Comes with a headset.
Oh, really?
Yes, it comes with a headset, and
I-
as we reported
thought-
like weeks before,
Yeah. I really thought that it wasn't going to be there.
yeah, we reported it, and it was from official report from I believe Kotaku that they wouldn't put a headset in favor of the Kinect, but it looks like they've kind of succumbed to that and put a mono chat headset in there. So they brought in a headset controller, which has impulse trigger, which we were talking about. The day one controller. If you're lucky enough to get an Xbox One day one Xbox, it comes with a chrome D-pad and an engraved controller that says day one or whatever. Ooh, like I really need that, right? The chrome D-pad, it would just be bad for when I do stuff and it gets all over my thumbs
you
and
fluff
fingers.
it.
Yeah. What? Raina, I am offended. I can't believe that you would say such horrible things about my habits.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
4K rated HDMI cable. It comes with it. So if you go to the store and buy HDMI cable, it runs you about $5 to $20, and this will give you an HDMI cable for free. Power cord, power brick, of course, as with all Xboxes, right? Console, and that's obviously the bulk and the meat of this whole situation here. The power button, if you look at it, you can't really see what the power is. So if you've seen the regular Xbox, it's that recessed kind of like power button, and then if you see the Xbox Slim, there's that. It's the same kind of circle with the red ring of death around it. The power button is actually the small silver Xbox logo on the right side. It's the logo itself is the power button.
So wait, is it kind of like with the wireless controllers, like how you press down on that? Like it's the little silver like convex version, and then it just like starts the whole system?
Yeah, it's the low. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
But it doesn't look like it's like recessed or put
So you could still kind of feel it.
You can
like,
kind of feel it. I'm kind of torn about this because I have a Slim, and when I brush my hands over the power button, it reads it and goes bing, and then just turns off. So I'm not really sure if that's really a good idea. The good thing about it is that it's on the far right side of the console and nowhere near anything else. So on the left side of the console, on the side is the what was it? That's the sensor button. If to connect your controller to the Xbox, it's on the left side, not the front, like other Xboxes are, right? On the back, let's see, there's the power input, the HDMI in from the satellite, which I was right. You have to, run your cable through your Xbox, which I think is kind of cool. HDMI out that goes to your TV, which means that your Xbox has to be, or your TV has to be at least HDMI supported.
Which, I mean, most are nowadays
Most
anyway.
are, and they're just really pushing the fact that old boob tubes aren't really worth it anymore.
I mean, if you've bought or stolen a TV recently, then you have an HDMI TV.
Of course, yeah, that's how it is. Optical audio out, 2 USB 3 ports. It could be anything, right? You can use them for controllers or whatever, special controllers. The sad thing is that the 2 USB outputs are not in the front; they're in the back. So if you have like specialized controllers, like Guitar Hero controller or like arcade stick for Street Fighter 4, you have to go all the way to the back to plug it in. The connect input, the IR out, like a gigabit Ethernet port, obviously for internet, and wireless connectivity inside the console, just like the Slim, which is not bad. I think it's cool. The Xbox One is it's a pretty standard box. There's nothing that really comes crazy with it. However, as we go into our next little news bit, Xbox One gave DVR feature exclusive to Xbox Live Gold subscribers. And it won't be it won't be a surprise. You basically need Xbox Gold, and that pretty much pretty much says it. We're gonna talk more about this, but we're gonna take a little break, and after the break, we're gonna talk more about Xbox One and PS3, their DVR features, and their all their crazy online shit. Oops. So we're gonna be back. Peace.
This is Deacon from Radio 1337. You're listening to Urban Nights Radio, the sound of artists.
This is Mouse from Radio 1337, and you're listening to Urban Nights Radio, the sound of artists. We're back. 1337, Urban Nights Radio.com. The sound of artists, talking, chilling out, and
saying
alone,
things that I have to bleep.
Alone in the room with Reina.
Such
Hi,
nice lighting. Hi.
Oh, we got
It's so romantic.
and you know what? Oh, Tengu came over and made the mood lights for us. Yeah.
Now I just need some massaging.
I'll massage you. Oh. You don't know, but I'm massaging Reina right now. Oh, and then I'll massage her back later on. Oh. Going back to the Xbox Live, on the PS4, sharing and streaming will be free on the PS4.
Free is good.
Well,
maybe
that's not bad. It was sharing and streaming. I mean, what does that mean? I mean, it's actually for playing games online. It's not sharing and streaming like videos or whatever. Sharing and streaming games, right? They said that you can record and stream PS4 gameplay footage without paying any PlayStation Plus fees. not bad. Of course, if you're an Xbox member, you would have to be a gold member, which, I think is kind of standard now for Xbox. If you really want to just get the most out of your Xbox, just go gold. And I'm pretty sure they're going to just keep the same plans as they did last with the regular Xbox, and just bringing it over to the Xbox One. But it's easy to kind of take this and say, hey, this is like, something that Xbox is not going to be cool with, and I'm going to not buy my Xbox One because I need gold whatever, dude. You guys can suck it. So speaking of Xbox and PlayStation 4 and new things coming out, right? There is this new peripheral that came out. It is it's called a leap motion control. Have you heard of it?
A leap?
Leap,
No.
Like you're taking
frog.
a flying. Okay, yeah.
Leap as in frog, right? It is.
Oh, I think it's kind of like what my brother has. Yeah. The leap. I don't
Okay,
know.
so if you've ever watched the movie, what movie was that? I keep forgetting. Minority Report, right? And the biggest flash in the film, and the biggest ooh-ah in the film, was when Tom Cruise started using the computer interface, and he had this glove, and then he was just kind of using the computer, using inputs that were like kind of floating in the air.
So we're getting the Power Glove.
We're not getting the Power Glove. We're actually getting.
But it's so bad.
We're getting inputs that don't require physical buttons. So this thing called the Leap Motion Controller, it is this small device that looks kind of like a large flash drive. It's not that big. I could probably compare it to, say, half the size of a Butterfinger, right? So you got a Butterfinger.
Are we talking like a bite size? Or are we talking
the
like
full
a regular
size Butterfinger, right?
full
If you
size.
eat half of the size,
Not
of
the king
Butterfinger,
size.
That's about the size of this device, right? It has a flat black top, and the rest is encased in silver. So at first glance, it actually just looks like a regular USB flash drive, right? What you're supposed to do is you plug it in the computer, and you just put it right in front of you. And what it does is that it senses everything above it. The black side is supposed to be up. And it will tell you, there's like these little like demo things, and it says, well, what do I see? It actually will show you on the screen, what does this controller see? And then you can move your hands around. It will show you like it's how it reads your hands. Like you can put your hands above it, like maybe about a foot above it, and it will read all your hand, your palm, all your digits, everything. It will show you, and I'm like, wow, this is really cool.
So you interact with it.
You interact with it.
Okay.
You interact with it, but you're interacting above it. It's remember that game, Paradise, and not the Coldplay song. It's the Paradise, right? It's this one kind of like game that's kind of like a DDR-ish type thing, where instead of pressing on the buttons, there are these sensors on the ground, and then basically you have to put your hand over the sensor, and that registers as a hit. And it's kind of the same thing, only it's registering more than just that. It's registering everything that's above it, right? The digits and everything. So Double Fine, the makers of Brutal Legend and Stacking and Psychonauts, right? That game company decided to create a game called Drop Chord, and in this game, using this device, you have to use this device for this game. And basically what you're doing is you're using two fingers, right? And on the screen, you'll see the circle. It's a radial circle. And on the circle, there's two dots. They are on opposite sides of each other. And they are glowing. And when you put your fingers up, you actually are controlling where the dots go on the circle, around the circle. And so it creates this line, this kind of like line across. And what happens is that there are these little teeny tiny light balls, right? And you have to hover the radial line over them to score points.
Okay.
It's hard to really explain, but then there are these little like red things that kind of show up and you have to avoid them. It's just a really, really cool interface. It's not something that I would get immediately, but if you're really into gadgets, you probably want to get a Leap motion controller. It's a really, really cool. I would say I'd wait a little bit to see how that kind of evolves, but just to see that there is technology where we can interact with the air and that will, equate as inputs into the computer. That's just amazing. And it actually shows, it's like one of those one more step kind of things. As remember, we were talking about the Oculus Rift, right? Where you have this virtual reality. And then if you have one of these, dude, you're really looking like you're just doing whatever, except you won't be able to feel the tactile touch of boobs.
Which is a terrible, terrible thing.
Terrible thing.
But you're doing the motion.
No,
You're
I just
caressing the air.
I think it's cool that it reads like full palms, and it's really just a Kinect sensor. Really, when it comes down to it, it's a Kinect sensor, but it's just really small and it points up.
Wow.
Right?
So it doesn't matter like how big your hands are. It'll
No,
just
it doesn't matter. It reads it just fine, and like you don't have to be super far from it, and there's not like a minimum distance where you put your hands, as long as it can read it. It's about like maybe 6 inches to a foot, and then any higher it can still read it. It's pretty cool.
Oh, okay. How far would you like if it were still to read? How far could you be?
I didn't really test that. I mean, I was able to get like 2 feet off the sensor, but like 2 feet off the sensor, and your arms are looking like you're like a zombie about to attack somebody,
Or like, a broke puppet
Get your
master.
zombie survival kit.
Space whales. Yeah, we brought it back. I know. Deacon's not here, but we can talk about space whales anyway.
The way you're doing your little hand motions, it's like a space raptor.
A space raptor. If I bring my arms in, will it be a space Rex?
Yeah, T-Rex.
Yeah.
Like high five. Give me T-Rex.
I can't reach.
Okay. We should
Yeah.
really be doing the whole. That's just a little annoying.
I feel like we've endorsed Double Fine so much that maybe we should just start asking for
money.
Yeah, just hey, we wouldn't mind dropping a little spot for you guys. We talk about your games enough.
Yeah, right. Speaking of developers, see how I transition all this is really cool. Obsidian Entertainment, right? If you guys are in the Southern California area, and if you want to, be a little kind to the world, you can go to Obsidian Entertainment, and they'll be hosting a blood drive next week. Yep. Because they want your blood so that they can give it to their developers, so they can develop games, right? Because they always sit there.
I mean, when you employ vampires, that's just how it goes.
It's kind of funny that they're doing this. I don't know why they're just announcing this, but there's really no incentive to go, other than maybe the fact that you'll meet some Obsidian developers or whatever. These are the same guys that made Fallout New Vegas. What was it? Dungeon Siege 3, and they're also developing the new South Park Stick of Truth. So Obsidian, Irvine, California, right next to, literally right across the street from the Irvine Spectrum. If you guys know, anybody knows the Southern California, Orange County very well.
When is this going to be going on?
It's going to be all next week, which would be
all next week.
The time that everyone hears this. So Tuesday, August 13th, from 11 to 5. That's it. So that should be right after the time we first air next week.
Cool.
Yeah.
So
you heard it here first.
Yup.
Unless you have news elsewhere.
Do you have anything, Raina? You got anything? Anything?
Anything?
I mean, besides
anything?
your
there's one game that just came out. It's called the Dragon Crown. It was developed by Vanillaware. Sorry.
Dragon Crown?
Yes, Dragon Crown.
Why do you choose Dragon Crown? Did you like this?
Well, the gameplay's a
Have
little different.
You played it?
No, not yet.
Oh, but
I have yet to purchase my copy.
Oh, well
it's
then after you
for-
purchase your coffee, you're gonna purchase your game, right?
Yes, it's for PlayStation 3 and the PS Vita. It's a 2D fantasy action role-playing video game. It was assisted by Atlas. Originally, it was supposed to be published by UTV Ignition Entertainment, but then they decided to give it to Atlas instead. So it's a beat 'em up game. So if you're
Beat 'em up.
yeah,
Hey, it's not
into
just for the P. It was you said PS3 and Vita.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just making sure.
It was released on August 6th, so if you haven't purchased a copy yet or are interested in playing this, you should try it out. It's a action role playing game, and it's a beat 'em up style. So if you like that kind of setup,
If you like to beat it up.
if I like to beat it up, yes. I actually saw the preview of it. It looks pretty interesting, and man, I have to admit, some of the girls, they have such thick thighs.
Hey, that's cool.
Go on.
And their outfit, I was like, wow. That's all I could see, but
We need more advertisements with like thicker women.
you think
Not
so?
not saying
But-
that we should have these huge BBWs, up on
Mm.
the
I
board
mean-
or whatever.
Oh,
But
God,
I
How
just-
extreme could it be?
I just don't want skinny sticks like advertising my perfume. You know what I mean? I mean,
Oh.
just give maybe a normal woman. You know what I mean? Just give me a little bit of thickness.
a little bit
you know
of
what I mean?
meat.
Give me some meat. Yeah. I mean, like, you're just like degrading every woman out there and just lowering their self-esteem. It's sad. Okay.
This from the guy, I don't want BBWs and I don't want sticks.
I don't like my porridge too hot and I don't like my porridge too cold. I like it just right.
Oh, my God.
Speaking of three, check this out. I just segued right into Humble Bundle. Oh, yeah. They add 3 more games. Hey, look at the 3. Yeah, that's right. Uh-huh. Yeah. I just busted that out. Humble Deep Silver Bundle has added 3 new games to the mix. The action RPG Risen, Beat 'em Up Sacred Citadel, and the grim first-person shooter Metro 2033. You know, the old first-person shooter one. These 3 new games join the 6 other games and a bunch of DLC from publisher Deep Silver for a nice low price. For the average price, you can get the open world action game Saints Row the Third, the prequel Saints Row 2, action RPG. Then I said Risen 2, Dark Waters RPG Sacred 2 Gold Edition. Pay over the average to get the Survival Horror RPG Dead Island Game of the Year Edition, and Saints Row the Third, the full package, which includes a bunch of extra DLC. And if you want Dead Island Riptide, you'll have to pay at least $25. All of these games are available for Windows through Steam. Paying the average price also earns you the soundtracks for Sacred 2, Gold Risen 2, Dead Island Riptide, and Saints Row the Third. So you get actually a lot of games for like $25, and these are games that have they're not old by any means. They're at least several years old, which is still pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, I'm gonna go there right now and buy myself some, like Saints Row the Third. You know what I'm saying?
I know, right?
That's what I'm saying.
And just get you some of that.
Well, slap that.
Speaking of selling, Nintendo has sold over 654 million game devices over the last 30 years. That includes the now defunct Virtual Boy. According to Go Nintendo, Nintendo has sold an impressive 4.12 million consoles and handhelds worldwide over the last 30 years. That's a lot. I mean, we're talking Nintendo, Super Nintendo, N64, GameCube, Wii U, and all those other handhelds. Yeah. The Nintendo has also sold 2.195 billion console games and 1.907 billion handheld games. That's a lot.
That is a lot.
That's a lot. I mean, I can't even count that high.
I feel like I'm going to have to clean up in that live room now.
It's not as funny. Oh boy, and with that, we're gonna take another break.
this is Vixen from Radio 1337. You're listening to Urban Nights Radio, the sound of artists.
Hey, this is Tengu from Radio 1337, and you are listening to Urban Nights Radio, the sound of artists.
Okay, we're back. Radio 1337, UrbanXRadio.com, and we just, cleaned ourselves up, and we're ready to rock the game review. Raina, it's going to be us two today, and we're actually going to review a game that I personally love. Unfortunately, I haven't played it in a while, but I personally love this game. The reason why I haven't played it in a while is because it takes a lot of headspace to play this game. But it on Board Game Geek, which is a pretty solid website for board games and card games, it's ranked number one as far as like a board/card game, and number one is collectible. It's a really, really good game. And so, what is the game, Rena?
It's called the Netrunners. It's designed
It's
by
called Netrunner.
Netrunner. Sorry.
It's not the Netrunners.
No.
No. Netrunner.
Yes, Netrunner, sorry. Without the S. It's designed by Richard Garfield. And
Richard Garfield was really famous for designing this small card game called Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
Huh. Wonder if that went anywhere.
Yeah, right? It was a small game, kind of really, really, really small population of people play it, I don't think anybody's really heard of it.
Yeah, you had to be there.
You kind of had to be there, right? 1992, 93, that kind of stuff,
Wow.
I do remember going to school. I was starting college, and I remember going into this kind of mysticism type store, and, it had all these crazy crystals and, like, all these crazy little things. And over the corner, I remember seeing it. It was Magic the Gathering, and it came with this little bag, and it came with, like, these little counters that, for life points. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And I totally thought it was a new type of tarot card. But it wasn't. It was just a game. It goes to show you that particular thing is, like, super expensive because it was a rare alpha edition, set of Magic the Gathering. And I was, I had a chance. I was looking at it. I had the money, too. I was like, oh, I want to get it. But back then, I wasn't, like, so much into, like, mysticism. I just wanted to wander in the store. Now they just changed that store into a Starbucks, so.
Like everything else.
Yeah, right? Are you going to go into the history? Because I kind of know the history of Netrunner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Richard Garfield created Netrunner in 1996. And it was one of those games. If you look at a Magic the Gathering card, you'll notice on the back, you'll see the five colors, Magic, the logo, and then on the bottom, you'll see this thing called Deck Master. It says Deck Master. Now, for most of us, we just ignore it, right? But what Richard Garfield was trying to do was he was trying to create a series of card games. And the card games would be under the family called Deck Master. And that was the intention, right? There was another game called Vampire the Masquerade. I believe that's another card game that also has the Deckmaster logo on there. Netrunner was the third game. It was another game in that family with the Deckmaster logo. And back then, the Netrunner, the primary colors were like purple and orange, and it had like a white background. It was very what is it? Steampunk, not steampunky, but like Blade Runner-y kind of.
That's pretty far from steampunk, dude.
Sorry. Yeah, whatever.
Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk. Yes, that's right. So that card game, didn't last very long. They had their first set, and then they had like maybe I think they were announcing an expansion. They never did. And there had been this small group of people that had been playing Netrunner for like the longest time with the limited amount of cards that they've had. And so they've been keeping it alive. Fantasy Flight Games does a lot of board games and card games. And they decide to pick up the license for Netrunner. And then what they did with the license for Netrunner is they had their own universe they called the Android universe, which they base a lot of games off of. They just used the Netrunner theme and put it into their Android universe. That's what they call Android universe. And so now you have Netrunner that has the same kinds of gameplay and a little bit of tweaks, which makes it a little bit more easier to swallow. But it's just a very, very good version of the game. So if you want to go ahead and explain what the game's about, Rena?
It's a 2-player game. It takes about 45 minutes to play. So
Not really. It takes a little longer.
Oh yeah, even longer. But usually the approximate is about 45 minutes. And let's see. I played this game for the first time just like last night. And I was
It's
trying
kind of
to.
funny because I played Netrunner a lot, and that's so much so that I have all the cards actually.
Wow. And
So what was your impression of it? What did you think of it?
the gameplay is really it's different. You're either on the offensive side or the defensive side. So, and I thought I played as the what is it, the
Runner?
no, not the runner,
Corporation.
the corporation.
Really? They had you do the corporation first? Ooh, that's harsh. Well, because there's a lot of rule sets involved with it.
Yes, if you I was going through the manual. It's pretty meaty. There's like
It's a lot of stuff. And then
there's at least 30 pages on there, and
that's not including the FAQ.
no.
The frequently asked questions that they have on the website. That they've, it's a lot of other things. Well, here's what it comes down to. It comes down to what Raina was talking about, offensive or defensive, is commonly known in the game as runner or corporation. And it's known as an asymmetrical game. So it's not like Magic the Gathering where you are two wizards battling. You both have 20 life and you both have decks and you both are just going at it, right? It's not like it's that symmetrical. One person plays something completely different than the other. The corporation, their whole, goal is to advance agendas, and they have to advance agendas in their server, which they use ice or like firewalls to protect their server. Now the other side is the runner, and the runner is more or less a hacker. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to get into the server, break through the ice or the firewalls to try and get to them. But the thing is, the ice, that the firewalls have different types. They're kind of traps.
Yes,
Right?
and then there's just some where the runner won't be able to get through unless you pull the right card.
Yeah, and what the runner could do is, their little tableau is their what they call rig or their computer. And so what they're doing during the game is they're playing programs that can break the ice or firewalls, right? And there's money involved. There's a lot of exchange involved. The big difference is that the corporation, as the defensive, they play their cards face down until they have to reveal them. When the runner attacks them. When the runner attacks them, they must reveal them if they decide to want to use that as a trap against the runner kind of coming in. So there's a lot of poker like.
Yes, and there's limited moves for each side.
Yeah, it's very restrictive, and it's not that being restrictive is a bad thing. Being restrictive really forces you to limit or maximize your moves carefully. You can't just be like, oh, I'm just gonna do this, whatever. You only have 3 moves essentially for the corporation, and you have 4 for the runner. So the runner has kind of a little bit of an advantage It's a really, really deep game. And
the corporation also has an advantage for pulling the next card first.
oh, well, it's not an advantage really. It's well, this is how I see it. I see it as both players actually have four moves, except the corporation has a mandatory first move
Yes.
in which they have to pull a card. The hand also counts as something for the for HQ. Oh, I'm sorry, for the corporation. Their hand is known as HQ, and it's everything that they can have no cards in their hand. They can be okay. However, if the runner's hand is known, that's their life, and so if the corporation forces the runner to discard more cards than they have in their hand, then they lose. They totally flat. They call flatline, and it's just a really, really intense game. If you really like the poker element of bluffing, right, and you really like mystery,
you have to bluff a lot in that game.
You really have to bluff a lot. I've actually played games where I looked in my hand and what I did, and there was just the runner was gonna win. I mean, just gonna win. I had this card that said, look at the top 3 cards, and then anything that's not ice, you discard. And so I had 2 of them were my agendas, and my trash heap is actually a server. It becomes a server. It's called the it's called something. It's my trash, right? And the runner could have easily run on it and won the game, and then I just kind of focused him on my other servers so that he would be busy trying to run the other servers, and I had the other agendas just waiting for him. What the runner has to do, the runner has to steal the agenda. That's all they have to do. All they have to do is just access the agenda that's on the board of the corporation, and they steal it. The corporation has to advance the agenda, and there's smaller rules involved in it, and I'm sure it's better to just look up some videos on it. Look up Dice Tower, or what is it, Drive-Thru Review, or whatever. There's some really good videos on how the game is played. It's really complex, but it's a very, very good experience.
It is, and they only need 7 points.
Yeah, the agendas themselves are cards,
agenda.
and they have varying amounts of points involved in it, depending on how much you advance them. And again, there's a lot of other little things, but it came out last year, 2012, and since then they've had it. Well, they've a core set, which is a good place to start off from. If you want to do tournament, I would recommend buying 2 more, which I did. Then there are the Genesis Cycle, which was the first set of expansion cards. What Lies Ahead, Trace Amount, Cyber Exodus, A Study in Static, Humanity Shadow, and Future Proof all are out already. The latest being of the Genesis expansion coming out in June 2013. So it literally just ended its first expansion block, and then there was another deluxe. There's one deluxe expansion that just came out called Creation and Control, and that one has a bunch of cards specifically for the identities of Hospiroid and the identity of the Shaper group, and those are just factions inside it. But again, really, I don't recommend this game enough to people if they want a good card game without having to totally break the bank. Fantasy Flight has this series of cards games called Living Card Games, where they give you, in each expansion, they give you all the cards for the expansion and the multiples for it. So in Netrunner, you can only have 3 of one card in a deck. In an expansion, they'll introduce 20 cards and then give you 3 multiples of it. So they give you 60 cards, which evens the playing field for anybody playing, and it makes it easy for people to get in and not spend $200 on a box of Magic the Gathering cards, only to get 2 rares that you're not going to get, right? So have you played it, Tengu?
I have never played it, but just listening to you guys talk about it, it actually is I've sat down and I've played a couple card games with you before, like the Game of Thrones one and a few others, and the Star Wars one was a lot of fun too. But those
are all Fantasy Flight games as well.
Yeah, this is sounding really interesting. I really like the whole bluffing aspect. I used to do a lot of poker and stuff when I was younger, and so that aspect I think is what's really appealing to me right now. Like just the idea of having to really like play your cards right and just hope that your face is not giving away anything.
I can only play like 2 or 3 games at a time because man, it hurts my head.
It sounds like it's very taxing as well.
It is. I can take a good 45 minutes to an hour playing this game, and then after that, my mind's exhausted. I just want to go sleep. But it's just an amazing game. It's just a really, really intense game. Star Wars is another great game which I'm really getting into, and that one came out just at the end of last year, and that one's also a good one. We'll probably do a review. We're gonna do a review on that later on. But do you have anything else to say about this game? I mean, there's so many layers of this game, and I really wish I can get to every single one of it but I can't without showing you, the stuff. Like I can't really show you the cards. Like I got all my cards and I'm showing Reina, and
I know,
she's
wow.
she's like totally like she's totally happy right now. I was gonna use that term, but I'm not gonna say it. Yeah. But
I have to look through those because
no,
that's
please.
awesome.
No, so you can totally look through my stuff anytime. All right, so that's our game segment, and I know it's a really heavy game segment.
It is, and the funny thing is, the person I was playing with, he was like, it's really hard to get girls to play this game.
It is.
It is.
Like, I used to do a league, and I don't do it anymore because I just haven't had the time. But there are no girls in the league.
Yeah.
No girls. It's very much a guy's game. And the sad thing about this game is that it's one of those things that it will probably just diminish in popularity because it's really, really hard to get into. And the people that are really into it are really, really, really into it. So I think the community is going to be really strong. The community with the people that are already playing is going to be really strong. But I think it's going to be great. Anyway, so you got anything planned for this weekend, Miss Reina?
Oh, dim sum. Oh my gosh.
Dim sum?
Yeah.
You got dim sum planned?
Yeah, I got dim sum planned.
Oh wait, you got it planned or have you done it?
Oh no, I got this plan. I'm gonna head over to like Diamond Bar this weekend.
With
just a couple friends,
couple guy friends.
No, there's girls too.
So these guys.
Girls and guys.
Those things.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to dim sum?
I have not. No.
You know what dim sum is?
I've heard of it. I feel like I know, but I don't want to go and just start saying it and sound like an idiot.
No, it's actually what you do with the lights. You dim sum.
Oh, okay. Then yes, I know exactly what it is because I just went in there and dim sum for you.
No,
if I just say delicious, yes.
It's one of those things where you could rack up a bill really fast.
Yeah.
And so.
Well, the price is not too bad either. Yeah.
You're doing the traditional one where like the carts come around and all that stuff, right? You're doing that kind of one, right?
Yeah.
No, there's different types of. Cause I've been to restaurants and like you have dim sum and they're like, oh, we have a list of stuff that we bring out to you if you want it. I'm like, no, that's not what dim sum is. Dim sum is like you sit down and there's this like train of like little carts that like go around the restaurant. And on the train of each car quote on this train has all like one entree, like, and it's like this little container. What they'll do is they'll hey, you want some of this, and they'll open it up for you. Like, you want some of this, and they just put it on the table and they mark your little tab as they're coming by when they drop off the food. But it's all kinds of, and it's little teeny tiny bites of stuff. But after a while, it can get really expensive because you're just like, oh, I want that, oh, let me give you 5 of that, and I want 6 of that. That's so good. It's true, right?
It is.
It's almost
true.
like all you can eat Korean barbecue.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, then I understand the concept.
Yeah, but Korean barbecue, they just like you order and they just give it to you. They just give it to you.
But
Just give you all the meat you want. They just give you all the meat. They shove it in your face, literally. They shove the meat in your face.
And it's so good.
It's so good. Juices dripping out of your face. It's amazing. And it's just so, it's almost like butter. It's like, and you just down it and, oh, man, so good.
Hey, I'm getting hungry.
Funny. You got anything planned, Mr. Tengu?
Well, just the finals for right now.
You've been really busy with all that stuff, haven't you?
Yeah, well, I mean, come on, like, we picked up WCS. We were already doing World of Tanks, so it's just been crazy. Like, I did only the second, 15-hour day I've ever done before. And that was just like, oh my God. Like, I got in 8 o'clock, and I keep on saying, okay, well, yeah, I'm going to probably head out around here. Okay, no, guess I'm not. Yeah, I get, okay, it's 10:30. It's 11. Oh, God.
I heard somewhere that a famous Korean e-cyber person was retiring. Am I correct in that?
I am not privy to this information.
I'll have to look it up. Excuse me. Wow. And it's not, I'm doing this. It's not because I'm sick, but it's clearing my nose for some reason. Maybe it's that allergy medicine that I took this morning.
Probably.
And it's completely.
You can breathe.
I'm breathing in the chemicals.
I still prefer the Lindsey Sterling version of that.
Oh boy, Korean. What would they call them? What do they call
Pro
those
gamer?
people? A gamer. Korean gamer.
Pro gamer.
Pro gamer.
Because they're pros. And
the most talented female StarCraft. No, that was in 2012. No. There is another one. Korean pro gamer retiring. I literally just saw this one in my feed. Derp. Pro gamer. Daigo. That's his name.
what does he play?
Let's see. Daigo. Oh, he's a fighter. He plays fighting games.
Oh, okay. That's why I don't know
Daigo
about it. Then.
Umihara recently attended an event at the bookstore in Japan, April 3rd, to talk about his book, Willpower to Keep Winning. He talked about retiring. He feels like he can't stay competitive. So apparently he's like a fighter, a fighting game kind of guy. And I thought that you would kind of know because you're kind of into that, Asian thing. Hey,
Well, yeah.
white guy, Asians, I don't know, man.
What's
up with that, man?
I got the fever.
Apparently. Okay, well, you know what? I think we should cut out now and just call it a day.
Yeah.
And just say, you know what? To hell with it. This weekend's gonna be great. Dim sum you, dim sum me, and dim sum everybody here at Radio 1337, UrbanNightsRadio.com. The sound of people talking about food. To my front is
Tengu.
And my left,
Raina.
to my right is nobody.
It's Casper.
It's the friendly ghost.
Yeah.
It's crickets.
All right, and we're out of here. Peace.
Later.